Hello there! So, I am here to show you today a fantastic find that I did. No, I was given this fantastic find by Gina. A couple of months ago, Gina sent me this gorgeous paint box, amongst others, with Daniel Smith watercolor sticks. But in it she had some space left and she filled it up with creamer paints, dark red, blue, and this is what we're going to talk about today, gold. Do you see the metallic sheen? This is undoubtedly the best metallic watercolor paint that I have found to this day. So, those of you who followed me know that I have been looking for a really good metallic paint for a long time, and I tried out many, some of which I'm going to show you to give you some comparison. The one that I settled for a commission half a year ago was the Finetech, and this is used by calligraphers a lot, and at the time, and it still is a very, very good one. But what I did not like about the Finetech is that in the first place it takes quite a bit of rubbing with your brush before the paint comes off, even when you wet it. And also, looking at this pan, I painted only one painting with this, my commission, and only minute details. So this paint, it takes quite a bit of paint to get some good gold color onto your paper, and I had to do it twice to make it really even, only for this color. The other colors I've noticed seem to be a bit more even. I am also going to show you today the Gansai Tambi. Some people were not really thrilled with my review, in which I'm sorry, I don't really like this paint as watercolor. I do like the paint, I use it in my journal, but never the watercolor. I've even bought this color, which is like cornflower blue. I bought that extra. But you know, if you buy it thinking this is cheap watercolor, it's not. It's not really watercolor, it's different. But some people said you at least have to like the metallics, and I don't, and I will show you why. And I will also show you my Schminky Gold, and I want to say something about that too, because it's a fantastic color. But well, I'm just going to take you through the whole process. I'm going to swatch for you so that you can see what the paints are about and how they pick up and how they feel on paper. I'm only going to use white paper because I was told I shouldn't swatch on black paper made black with Indie ink because it's greasy and it doesn't show the colors well. Well, I can imagine. So as Kremer already did that for you in the box, what I bought is the Kremer watercolor set for retouching. And it also contains black, white, yellow, ochre, sienna, I think, or umber, a red, and sort of a sepia kind of color. And I assume that you can use them to change the temperature, as we say, the color, the shade, the sheen of the metallic color that you use. I might chuck them all out. I will use these because they're really fine paints, but especially the white covers really well if you look closely. It's painted on black and it's beautifully covering. What was I going to say? I'm only going to review these, but these are already swatched on black, and as you can see, they all show really, really well, and they behave like gouache would. Okay, I'm chucking this pan back into the set that Gina gave me because I want to keep it complete the way she gave it to me. And I'm going to swatch for you. And I'm starting with all the other colors. Now, I have a jar of water here for rinsing my dirty brush. I have one for clean water so that I don't contaminate the other paints. Okay, so I have to check the numbers because I want to make it right for you. So I'm doing that one last, but that has a reason because it dries really, really fast. So I'm starting with Schminky. What I want to tell you about Schminky is that it is a good paint, but it comes off a little difficult. I have to admit to you, all these paints will probably come off a lot easier because I have just recorded, I thought, this same video for you until I found out that only my microphone was on and not my camera. And that is because I am streaming to my hard drive for the first time, because it just helps me solve the hassle of battery changes and you know, not having enough space on the memory card in my camera. Anyways, the Schminky, it will probably come off a little bit easier. So, oh no, not even, it's already fully dried. This takes some gentle rubbing. There is a blue spot on there that I will try not to hit with my brush. And I love Schminky paints. Those of you that saw my reviews know that Schminky is still in my top. Well, I don't really have a top how many, but the Schminky is good. And that's something that you will notice in comparison with the Kremer and even with the Fine-Tech, is that it doesn't spread as evenly as the other colors do. And then I'm talking about the Fine-Tech and the Kremer. And I have to say that I am not sure. This may also be because this is on a dry pan, because I suspect that if you buy this gold color from Schminky, it would be a good idea to buy it in a tube rather than in a pan, because the pan paint is pretty hard. It takes quite a bit of work to come off the pan. So if I were buying this again, I would buy the tube. Okay, so this is the Schminky color, and when you apply it on paper, it looks really thin and watery. That's a characteristic of the Schminky. It will dry up a lot more metallic though. So, on the same piece of paper, I'm going to lay down apples and pears here, so people are probably going to comment about that. But I just want to show you, because, you know, I'm not against Gansai Tambi. It's just a different paint, and I feel it shouldn't be compared to watercolor paint, basically. I was told it's being used for specific techniques. Oh, I forgot the name again, Hiragame or something? No, I don't remember the name. But anyway, I don't want to compare it to the other watercolor paints that I'm using. But I do want to show you, because some people might order the Gansai Tambi metallic paint based on the opinion of those viewers who were a bit mad at my review. As you can see, I am picking up a lot of paint here, and that has its reasons, because I know this paint. And it's a bit difficult to lay this paint down evenly. Okay, I'm just going to leave it to dry before I say anything about it. Moving on to gold. This was a bronze color, so now I'm moving on to gold. And again, I'm doing quite a bit of work before I lay it down, because I want to show you that I'm giving it my best to show off the metallics in this paint. Okay, that's Gansai Tambi, and we're going to leave this to dry as well. Okay, now moving on to fine tech. And in my first recording, or what I thought was a recording, I showed you, I wanted to show you that it's quite a difficult paint to pick up, and you can see because it's already hardened. Can you see that it takes a lot of work for the paint to come off? So what I do is these pens I always pre-wet to spare my my brushes, to make sure they will last me a little bit longer, because I'm rather careful with my brushes. So this is kind of a pearlescent. I know this is a wonderful color, pearlescent kind of silver. And what I like about the fine tech, and what I liked and what I spoke about in the previous review, is that these colors actually look metallic. Many watercolor paints that are metallic are actually pearlescent. So are these, by the way. But at least fine tech and Kremer as well, they manage to make it look like metal. Okay, so moving on. And this is a color that I love. It's between silver and gold, sort of like a champagne color. And I'm trying to find the right consistency, that I don't pick up too much water, because that takes a little bit of effort and try and learning as well. Okay, now I'm going to use the color that I've used most, and what I just found, and I'm really curious what it's going to be like now, is when I used it for the previous video I recorded, or thought I was recording, is that it looks a bit gooey, like chocolate paste on bread. And I don't remember this from last time. For some reason it seems more sticky. And as you can see, it's harder to apply evenly. I'm getting these light marks where there is no paint. And I don't remember that from working with this paint on the commission. So what I'm wondering is, I heard somebody say, don't close the lid of this box when the paint is still wet, because it might get moldy. What I'm wondering is whether the paint's been, well, ruined somehow. It looks glazy, like there's been a varnish over it. Okay, so moving on with a beautifully metallic kind of gold. I don't have the names here, I think. I'm trying to even it out as good as I can, as well as I can. Okay, so it's still very wet, so I can't really show you the effect of this paint. Moving on to a copper. The reason I'm showing you this so extensively is because, as you can see, I have to work quite a bit, and that's where the Kremer is different. Much different. And that's why I took the trouble of ordering a set and because I like working with gold, not for reproduction, but for originals. Now, oops, my finger's going to be in the way. Okay, I'll just... Last color. What I like about this paint, it's the fourth color in my box, is that it seems the pigments have all evened out beautifully. And that takes a little bit of exercise with any metallic paint to make it really nice and even. Okay, so that's Fine Tech. Leaving this to dry. Picking up some excess paint to make it dry a bit faster so that I can show you the end result in a minute. Okay, and now moving on to the creamer. Okay, okay, here we go. So this is going to be white on white, it seems, but look when I lay down my wet brush, how easily the paint comes off, and immediately when it comes off, it starts getting that beautiful consistency, milky. And when I lay it down, I get this gorgeous sheen. This is like white wedding gown satin. Although it dries up much more metallic. So if you were to buy a wedding gown in this colour, you might be surprised, looking like an astronaut. Okay, and this paint dries fairly quickly as well, which I think is a huge plus. Okay, so we go. The second one. The first color was 500008, and now we are on 500408. This is more like... This is the most pearlescent of the colors in the set. And what I like is that, I don't know if you can see it, but it's actually a really thin paint that really reminds of watercolor. Many metallic paints that are really good feel like gouache, and this doesn't. This paint remains thin and watery, only once on the paper it looks absolutely metallic and splendid and gorgeous. This is the lightest of the colors, and I found it the most difficult one to apply. And even when I'm rubbing off my brush on a piece of kitchen towel, it looks gorgeous. Oh God, I'm not even a bling girl. I don't know, people who know me will know that, but I'm not a bling girl. And still, when I do use bling, I want bling. Okay, make sure you see what I do. So now I'll zoom out just a little bit. I'm now using, diluting the 501008. It's a warm gold. Prettifying my kitchen towel. And now I'm moving on to 501108. And for those of you who will start running to the... No, you're already behind your computer. But if you want to order, this is Kremer, and it must be available in America, because Gina sent me from the States. But if you want to order it and you can't find it in America, I ordered it from petersart.de, Germany. So moving on to the color that I have used a lot in the past weeks. It's 501798. And I absolutely adore this paint. Oh, oops, I touched the other paint and it's now flowing into, oops. Yeah, well, it happens. Who knows what beautiful results we'll get. But this paint, this is the 503008, comes off the most difficult of all. Although, and I know this because I just reviewed it, it looks more difficult than it really is, because once I lay down on paper, it looks gorgeous. Can you see that? Okay, so moving on to 50, it's also bronze color, 50208. And I have to take a really good look if I see difference there between the two bronze colors. I think it's slightly more red. And then finally it's 501808. And that too, it comes off so easily. Such a creamy consistency. And this is absolutely perfect to work with. Look at that. This is the exact way I would work with it on my watercolor paintings. I wouldn't add too much water. And I would apply it with the tip of my brush. Right. Ta-da! That's my yumminess. So, going to make a bit of noise here. It's just enough to show you something. By the way, the Gansai Tambi paint, when I dry it with a hairdryer, it smells like licorice. Kind of funny, isn't it? But anyway, the Schminky paint and the Gansai Tambi. The Gansai Tambi do have such a sort of a satin feel to them. But they're not half as metallic or blinding as the Schminky is. Can you see that? The Schminky is really, really metallic. But, can I show? Yeah, I think I'll zoom in a bit more. Yeah, you can see it, right? It didn't actually really cover everywhere. So what I want to do, if I get a chance, is find myself a tube of Schminky Gold paint in the same color, which is 893, because I have been told that the paint from the tube is a lot easier to paint with and covers a lot better than this one. This one is slightly transparent in a way. The Gansai Tambi paint is beautiful, but it looks like chintz or like silk. There is a sheen to it, but this is not metallic. This is not gold and bronze. But it can be beautiful if you paint beautiful dresses, garments of ladies. Then this would make perfect sense. Right. Onto the fine tech. And I'm going to blow dry again. because I want to do a good comparison. Okay, before I go on, there is something I want to say before I forget, and that is, this is an ugly failed painting, but I did apply some gold on it, the 501798 Kremer. One of my viewers reacted to my gold watercolor video review, and he said that usually when you rub it with your finger, the paint comes off. Well, my finger is dry now and it does not come off. So it picks up from the cream, it picks up from the pans wonderfully, but it does not come off. I haven't found that to be the case with Finetec either, by the way. So another thing I want to show you, this is painted with the Kremer, sort of a hair mask. It's beautifully metallic, but what I also wanted to show you, this is an ACEO that I've finished painting. I've also used the gold paint, but here in the neck you can see I've added some shading. So even on top of the gold paint, I've added a little shading to make it darker, to make it more real, so that it's not a flat surface. You can actually paint on top of this, very carefully of course, because you might pick it up, but nonetheless. So Finetec and Kremer. I have got two really fine metallic paints here. Look at them. Blinding you with metallics. Aren't they wonderful? I think they are. They both are absolutely wonderful. And still, I don't think I would be, if I'm going to work with gold paint again, I will definitely use the Kremer. And the reason is that the way it applies, it allows for such wonderful work with the brush. It flows so beautifully from the tip of your brush, whereas the Finetec is a lot harder to pick up from the pans. It really needs pre-wetting and a lot of work before you have some color going on. And it's okay, it's doable, and it's fine. This is a really, really good paint, but my number one for the way it looks is beautiful. I think I also have the other color chart that I've just painted. It's beautiful, and it behaves so well. It does exactly what I, as a watercolor artist, want it to do. So I've got my gold gouaches for when I work in gouache, and I've got this. And the Kremer also allows for adding another layer on top. So it's not like once it's applied, then it will no longer accept a new layer. It will accept new layers. So you can actually, you can actually play with it. You can find the links for the Kremer paint here, down here, well, I'll be back with new reviews and videos really soon. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like my video or subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you again really soon. Thank you for watching. Bye.